morning. Bob Carney, Carolina's Biker here. And I'll tell you what, today it's a treat. We've got Richard Wright from the Chop Shop in Lexington, South Carolina here with 3 of his bikes, which we're going to feature in 2013, 14, and 15's calendar. And you guys are really going to like these bikes. They're really special. He's got a big group of guys there that work for him, something like 20-something guys, and they do some real artistry. Let's meet Richard. Richard Wright. Richard, you here? Richard Wright, the Chop Shop down there in Lexington.
How you doing?
Good to see you, man. Well, welcome to cloudy Gastonia, North Carolina. We're at Click Baldwin's Rooster to shoot the calendar today, and as I said, we've got Richard bringing some bikes up from South Carolina in the middle of the rain last night.
Good little story.
Yeah. Well, let's go inside and see these bikes, Richard. Hey there. Well, what do you think about this bike? Isn't this great? And I bet nobody's seen this. This is a Magna Supercharger. We got a great looking bike here that's going to be in our calendar. And I know you're going to enjoy learning about this bike. But instead of having me try to tell you about this bike, let's bring in the real expert, Richard Wright from the Chop Shop in Lexington, South Carolina. Richard?
How you doing?
Good to see you again. Once again, we're going to feature your bike in our calendar, and it is our honor and our pleasure, and you brought us a great bike today.
Appreciate it.
How did you ever come up with putting a supercharger like this on this bike?
Well, we're used to going with big inch motors and stuff. We wanted something with more horsepower. We were in Daytona and met a gentleman who makes some superchargers, and I've had one on my cars. And he said he had one for a bike, so I had to purchase it. And a couple $6,000–7,000 later, we got one.
Well, that's a first for me, I've got to say.
It was worth it, dude. It was definitely fun.
Well, I see right here we've got the Chop Shop's custom pipes like you do.
Yes, sir.
Once again, fabulous.
Appreciate it.
And this, on this particular bike, you painted it with the bike rather than having chrome.
Correct, and we just did the chrome tips on it, and so far it's held up well for us.
Well, if you could come down on my level, it's the only way I can get Richard on my level. He's about 6'9". Show us how this thing works.
Basically, this one's gear driven off the cam, and the harder you turn it, the more horsepower it makes, and it's just like a regular blow on a car. And we do run racing gas in it because of the compression and all. It does have compression releases on the motor for cranking purposes, and it's just been a good all-around motor.
Well, on the other side, it looks like what you and I ride. On this side, it looks like something that they came up with at NASCAR. I think you'd agree with that. What a great bike. Another example of Richard Wright's artistry and what they do down at the Chop Shop in Lexington, South Carolina. Richard, thanks again for joining us, and thank you for bringing this bike for us to shoot in the calendar. I know it's going to be a treat for everybody to see it. Although your bike's beautiful, I think it's going to look a lot better with our model on it than it does with you.
Exactly.
Thanks again.
Appreciate it.